Welcome back. Friday lunchtime. There's no doubt that education in South Africa has taken a knock during the pandemic, and I'm probably understating it. Now government has announced a 3-year recovery plan. The 2021 academic year will start on the 25th of January for teachers and 2 days later for pupils, with the intention, says the Minister, of, and I quote, gradually recovering learning losses while building on foundational content required for the next grade. Well, all of this, is it going to work? Here now is Mary Metcalfe from the University of Johannesburg, also a former education MEC here in the province of Gauteng. Professor, good afternoon to you. This is what the Minister also says. The main focus will be on the core and fundamental content knowledge of pupils, skills, attitudes and values required in each grade and subject to ensure deep learning and content mastery as opposed to superficial learning. That's quite a mouthful. Can you simplify that for me?
Yes, Jeremy, first of all, it's not only education in South Africa that's taken a knock. It's education all over the world, in our continent, and in Europe, the USA. And if you follow the developments internationally, I would say I think we're doing quite well. Firstly, the time that's been lost this year has had huge implications on what has been covered and what could be covered, because it isn't just the lockdown time. It's when kids went back to school, they've been attending every second day or every second week, and that's going to continue into 2021. Now, what the Minister is saying is that we have to focus on the essential learning, numeracy and literacy in the primary schools, and we have to focus on the essential concepts needed for ongoing learning, and that the catch-up for all of the time that's been lost is going to be at 3 years minimum, and I think that that's realistic.
Mary Metcalfe, does this then require a different approach to teaching? And if it does, are teachers up to it?
I think it requires that there's a recognition that all teachers are every day in their schools making teaching decisions that are based on their professional judgment. They do that within the guidelines that are provided nationally and provincially, and we need to strengthen school support. Within the school, firstly, in teaching teams from the SMTs, and we need our districts to support SMTs to support teachers. There never can be a mechanical application. It requires teachers to use their judgment.
And part of that, Professor Metcalfe, in assisting in this recovery plan is the recruitment of 300,000 young employees, interns, I guess is maybe the best word, to assist in this process. Great idea. Where do they come from?
That process of appointing young people has already proceeded through a very detailed and thorough selection phase, and is in a phase of school governing bodies now appointing, teaching young people to fulfill 2 criteria, some as teaching assistants and some as general assistants. And it will be up to school governing bodies to appoint based on their knowledge of that young person, based on references within the community, and for the school management teams to deploy them. So for people without appropriate qualifications to do the actual teaching support, there will be general support within the school that those young people will be offering. For those who do have, for example, post-matric qualifications or teaching qualifications, they will be able to be given responsibilities that have to do with actual interaction with learners associated with learning. The key is that it's the school governing body to whom these young people will be accountable and who will direct which work they are required to do. And it's the school governing bodies that are managing the appointment.
And we can only hope that they take a responsible and judicious approach to the process. Professor Mary Metcalfe, as always, thank you very much for joining us Friday.